When did you first hear about the issue with the truck hijacking in Mexico?
Contacted a trucker who was going to make a delivery in the state of Mexico on the outskirts of Mexico City. And so I went with him from the warehouse that he leaves from to his delivery point. One of the strangest things about it is like you look out and you see like all of these logistics hubs and factories, and you see a lot of economic activity. But this guy was explaining to me that, he might hear about one or two colleagues in the area being stopped and kidnapped every single day. And he knows people who have been kidnapped and killed, but this is his job. And he goes out there and he says, he's never actually been he's never been kidnapped. He's never had anything really scary happen to him, but he says like there's definitely stretches of highway in Mexico where he knows when he's driving through, he's going to see some of these, paramilitary style gunmen in masks. Incidents are happening every single day in Mexico. 20,000 incidents a year. It's not like an isolated risk. Something in different parts of the world, like executive kidnapping might be something that happens, once or twice a year, but this is happening. There's 50 or 60 of these incidents happening every single day. As I said, even though it is getting more media coverage, I don't think that it's part of the general conversation about Mexico. I don't think that overall people around the world understand that organized crime groups are engaging in this type of activity so frequently.
Is there a connection between the cartel doing this, or is this kind of like other little factions or just kind of small pockets of just criminal elements that are just making money this way?
We do see a few cases of police, especially in Mexico City, successfully investigating and arresting cells of criminals who are engaging in cargo truck hijacking. And a lot of times it seems like it's, smaller groups or local families. There are cases. There was just a recent case in Veracruz of a truck being stopped and a driver being kidnapped, and the gunmen, kind of look like semi-military, carrying some type of long assault rifles, wearing hooded sweatshirts and covering their faces, concealing their identities. Frequently in these incidents, a lot of times it's more like guys in hooded sweatshirts with pistols. But the big question is like, where do these guys fit in to the criminal ecosystem in different states in Mexico? And in particular in a state like Jalisco, where the new generation Jalisco cartel is very powerful, it seems very hard to believe that groups are able to be carrying out these types of assaults every single day without having some type of tacit approval from, senior level guys in the organized crime group. A lot of drivers say like that's also tough for them because like these incidents happen so frequently, and there are some companies that they might fire a driver if he's been robbed twice. But with 60 incidents happening every single day, it's like you could very easily be robbed twice within a 3-year period if you're always driving on, high risk roads. And again, it goes back to just the absence of any type of real investigative capacity. Like if 99% of all homicides are not being solved and, very few violent robberies are ever being solved, the innocent drivers also never get exonerated by investigations, right? So that's like the bad side to it, is like it's like you suffer this terrifying incident of being robbed at gunpoint, maybe beaten, kidnapped, put into a trunk, and then released 10 hours later or something. And then for the rest of your career, you're marked as someone who might be colluding with organized crime.